Hey guys, alrighty. So, assuming you guys can see this. Today's Monday. We ended the week on Friday with a pretty big sell-off. Was definitely impressive to say the least. So, let me make sure you guys can actually hear this here. Alright, so it is working. I just wanted to make sure. Anyways, so yeah, Friday was a very big bearish, bearish day for us. So we have an interesting move today. So today is contract roll. At least I'm contract rolling on futures here. So if you look at TOS, most of the platforms, they probably rolled today already. So if you look, there's a big gap up. So it puts us at an interesting thing. A lot of people, when the gap comes, they do adjust their levels for the gap. I do not do that. I've been doing this for years now, and I've just never adjusted it. Over time, the levels seem to just play out normally, even without adjusting them. So I just don't adjust them. So, anyways, I am unfortunately a little sick right now. So if I'm sniffling or sneezing or whatever, I apologize in advance, unfortunately. But, so looking here at open, right now, we really have support at 69.20 to 69.23. And basically we're testing 69.32 as our resistance. The upside breakout here on ES, if we get a big move, would be up to 69.50, as you can see up there. Now, when I look over here, I'm going to adjust this a little bit here. Now, when we look over at NQ, you can see this 25.591 to 25.605. That's our support. We have a pretty big resistance area from 25.678 to 25.729, and then again, our big breakout area would be 25.839 to 25.872. Generally, VX and VIX are pushing lower, so that is bullish. It does favor upside. One interesting thing is we have stronger daily sellers right now, so that does favor downside. So pretty much we're going to need to see a closure under really 69.20 and 25.591 with the VIX over its 15-minute 20 EMA resistance to support further downside. Otherwise, likely we are going to either have a nice inside day on NQ, or we are going to just continue to push higher. So we'll just kind of see where today plays out here. Nice initial slap down here to start the day. So VIX and VX are just kind of holding steady here. We have a little bit more of an ES downside than we do here on NQ. This is a nice back test right off of EMA support. So this is a good spot where we could see a bounce to the upside here. But again, you know, I think this is a good one to kind of let it play out, just kind of see where we go, and be careful here. Definitely in no rush. You know, it's just opening Monday. Monday's going to be a little rough sometimes, a little choppy. We got a big week ahead of us. We get a lot of economic data. Thursday is CPI, BOJ. I think it's Friday. So a lot of data to move the markets around this week. So just definitely expect a little bit of volatility, but for the most part, it'll be interesting to see kind of where we shape out here and if that Santa rally will start or not. As of now, ES looks weaker than NQ, which we did see a little bit of this last week too. We were initially, for a while there, ES was stronger than NQ, and that was taking us higher. But now we're seeing a shift here where ES most of the time is the weaker one, and that has really been holding NQ back. And then at times you'll see NQ start leading that downside with ES, and that's when we have those really strong and aggressive moves one way or another. Okay, so ES right now is testing that critical 69.20 to 69.23. We don't really have strong we do have sellers, but they're only at pre-market levels, so it's not very strong in that sense. VX and VIX haven't really popped up either, so again, be careful with a bounce here. But this is starting to push down really nice here. Same here on NQ now too. We're coming into that 25,591 to 25,607 support area. If we could get a 5-minute close down here, we might get a little bit of pop back up to, you know, 69.25, maybe 25,630 area to then potentially take a short much lower here. Big old drop here on ES now. Almost a 16 point drop. Nice. Okay, we do have VX and VIX starting to push up here. So again, I'm looking for a little bit of a back test. The sellers are just not strong enough for me just yet to trust continuation. So I do expect a little bit of a pop here. So again, we do have sellers. We're looking for pretty much 610. We might go back to 630 to be completely honest, but this is a big bounce here. So again, this is where I was saying that we don't have the aggressive sellers just yet to really trust this to continue lower. So likely the best play here is either this is going to be a big rejection and we're going to just completely drop down to that 531 level by the time this 15-minute candle closes, or we're going to have to wait for a 5-minute double top to play out. So again, we do have sellers, but we're barely breaking stronger than pre-market level here. So it's tough. You're going to probably end up getting stuck with a bigger bounce here. So likely now 630 is potential and 69.24 to be retested here. So same thing, this is one of those moves because of sellers, and really VX and VIX, if you look at them, they just have a doji, but that doji actually is a rejection to the upside, which does favor that VX and VIX could push lower, which is obviously bullish. This is one of those moves where it would be risky to expect a reversal back down. The better play, again, is to wait for the 5-minute double top. Now, again, it might just reject pretty hard here, and it might just push, and this 5-minute candle very well could go red here, but for the most part, I'm definitely being patient here and making sure we don't get stopped out. So far, So far, 630 is holding as resistance, though, so that is notable. So this is what I was saying. We could just see that big old rejection lower here on this 5-minute candle, but again, it wasn't my A+. Again, sellers are there, but VX and VIX are not in that strong uptrend. So you got to be careful on a big move like that. It just could keep going and going and going. So right now, this rejection sets us up for potential further downside on this new 5-minute candle, which opens here in about a minute. Okay, now the next level to watch downside is that 531. I'd like to get in on a short here, obviously, in this new 5-minute candle. Again, the problem was that, we just had a 60-point wick. But again, I'm just being patient. Opening Monday here, expect volatility as you've been seeing. So now the VX and VIX are pushing up. Now we are hitting aggressive sellers. So if we can get a little tiny pop to the upside here, maybe back to 570 on this new 5-minute candle, we should finally get our short entry here. I do expect this to continue and potentially even down to 25,490 area. Okay, so we closed under 5-minute ORB. That's at 25,571. So that is where I'm watching for our test. If we pump through it like we just did, that is potential for reversal back to the upside here.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Okay, I went ahead and took the short here. I'm looking for that rejection, looking for 531, but again, I do think we get down to 25,490 area here.
Stop filled.
So some of
Stop
mine,
filled.
okay, everybody, I think everybody stopped out. No, some of my, I had a couple different entries there, so I think a couple of mine are still running. Yeah.
Stop filled.
Okay, now I think everybody stopped out. All right, well, we ended up bouncing a little bit more than I thought we would there. It looked good. It looked convincing to the downside that the LRB resistance would hold, but they ended up pushing up instead. So let's see kind of where we go from here. We might still get another short opportunity, though, to take this back lower.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm short again. I think everybody's in too. Yeah, it looks like everybody's in. I wanted a little bit higher, but it rejected a little bit faster than I was hoping. Thought I could get in there. So this should be our downside here. Again, looking for 531 and 490 area here. So see where we can come, where we come here. So this is where I'm looking for that 531 and looking for 490 afterwards down here. It would be nice to be out of this short before this new 15-minute candle opens, just because we have seen such aggressive bounces off new 5-minute candle openings, but likely I'm going to have to hold through it. So just being kind of patient here right now. I still like the downside, so I'm still comfortable in my short. I still think we're going to get that 531 and probably 490 too. 490 also, I should say. So being patient here, but it looks good. It's got the sellers are aggressive now. VX and VIX are pushing. We got a new 5-minute candle. Let's go ahead and lock in a break even just in case. Not a lot of trust in these bears, but if this goes, it's going to go big. So this is a great entry. We're up 20 points. Hopefully we don't get stopped out first, but I also rather get stopped out than take a chance at this bopping all the way back up to like 25,590 first. Okay, so I got stopped out break even there. We might go back to 571 first, but overall, that was a good short entry. Hopefully we didn't just barely get stopped out before this dumps down, which it's looking like we just did.
Order filled.
All right, I'm back in. It's unfortunate we got wicked out there, but it is what it is. So VX and VIX broke out here. Well, at least VIX did especially. We did break through 531, so now again 490 is my target. I'm hoping they don't try to take this back up first, but we have aggressive sellers. So again, it looks good. It looks good on paper here. So Hopefully, we'll take it lower here first. It looks like they might come tag us out. It's a big spot here. It's trying to push, but certainly it's being a little difficult. So again, if this goes, it's probably going to go pretty quick and pretty big. I do think 490 is going to get touched. I'd like to see this 5-minute candle close under 69.06 and under 25.520. That would likely keep us in the play and also signify further downside. It's flirting with our stop loss right now, though. So we'll see kind of how we play out. If this bounces, likely we're going back to 570, maybe 590, and then we'll look for further downside. But we have aggressive sellers. We have VX and VIX both now trying to trend up. They are green of the day. We do have a stronger daily sellers, so the move to the downside is certainly there. It's just a matter of, am I going to get stopped out before the move happens? Excuse me. So we got 1 minute to a new candle here. Hopefully it's going to push down and not push up, but it's starting to look like it's going to try to take us out. ES is looking weaker than NQ for sure, though.
Stop filled.
All right, they ended up getting us there, unfortunately. So 570, that is our 5-minute ORB. That's a potential level to watch here. ES is still pushing lower. NQ is trying to kind of bounce here.
Order filled.
All right, well, I took the short now. See if we get the drop. I definitely could be a little bit more aggressive with my entries. Feel like I'm maybe a little slow on my entries, which is definitely costing me a few points. But that's okay. So again, 490 is my target. We got the 69.02 here, or about to get the 69.02 here on ES. So again, 490 looks probable. If they bounce here, though, this could be the downside. This could be all we get. So definitely need to see NQ needs to break that previous 5-minute low there to really sell the downside continuing. There we go. See if we keep going here. I got 20 points locked in right now. I'm really hoping we're going to break 490. We might just go straight to 446.
Stop fill.
Okay, out for 20 points there. Slowly recovering a little bit of my loss here, so I'll take that for sure. No biggie. NQ certainly struggling a little bit with the continuation to the downside. Now again, it might just be me being cautious, but certainly struggling to want to continue pushing lower. Holo, I'm just going to call you Holo. I just saw your message here about 6,800. Are you referring to SpyX or what level? What are you referring to as 6,800? I don't have that level. But again, I also rolled my contract, so our levels may be a little different here. Definitely got to be careful here. Most of these 5-minute candles have been bouncing. So we got to be careful of that upside bounce here. Now again, we do have aggressive sellers on both 5 and 15 minute. We're getting a pretty good push here on VX and VIX right now too. So downside looks good. Certainly being led by ES comparatively to NQ. But the little downside wick we just had on that previous 5-minute candle makes me a little hesitant to trust that this is going to continue lower here.
Order filled.
Okay, I took the short. Not my best entry there. I got a little, seems like it wasn't a great entry, but that's okay. I'm looking for the downside here though, so we'll see. And when I say entry-wise, I mean my fill was not very good. I got filled pretty much right at the bottom there. So we broke 490. Now see if we can get down to 446 here. And then that level on ES would be 68.92. Holo, yeah. 680. I'm not sure on the crossover to ES there. I don't have a SPY chart pulled up right now. But yes, generally if the day goes red, that kind of opening or previous day close would be a level to watch for sure. Okay, locking in a break even. Looking for continuation. Gonna play it safe with a 20-point break even. All right, I'm back to break even on the day. I'm okay getting stopped out there on that right there. So back to break even on the day here. Looks like they're going to try to close this back over that 490 level, though. I'd like to see on this new, we got about a minute now, this new 15-minute candle, I'd like to see a move back to maybe 25,520 area, and then look for a short opportunity from there. We have VIX definitely broke out now. It's got a full candle over its 15-minute EMAs. Obviously, NQ and ES both have a full candle under its EMAs. We got aggressive sellers. So certainly our downside is the move here. We have stronger daily sellers. At this point, it's just a matter of getting continuation our way. Getting a good entry. Again, I think I've had good plays. Just maybe a little slow on the entry. But we're just, trucking along here. Okay, so we have a long move potential back up again to 25,520 and maybe 69.03 over on ES and NQ. It's kind of a tough one here because there is that big level I'm watching. So a short is a little more risky, I would say, but the short is certainly there. So there's 68.92 on NQ, or sorry, on ES, and then on NQ we almost touched 447. Let me fix this chart for you guys here. Okay, VX and VIX are going. This very well just might straight dump.
Order filled.
All right, I took a short. So VX and VIX are pushing up. We have stronger daily sellers, stronger 15-minute sellers. They might pop this up here. That's my little worry, is that they could pop this up. But again, they have the sellers, and we get stopped out, unfortunately. So now it looks like they might make that run to 520 like I was talking about. Or we just unfortunately got stopped out there and a little bit of a bounce, it looks like.
Order filled.
Okay, back in. We're very choppy today, I'm noticing, obviously. Lots of up, down, up, down. It's not very smooth continuation like we are kind of accustomed to seeing. So, again, I'm hoping we can get one entry here where we get a nice smooth 40, 50 point move. So again, 446 is kind of our level. Once we bust that, we got 341 and 538. Over on ES, we got all the way down to 68.66. Trying to get one of these that'll let us actually get a decent win here. Kind of keep getting stopped out a little too short. I mean, good plays, 20 points is amazing. I like a good 20-point win, but I'm trying to get one of those nice bigger wins here so we can actually be done for the day. But we just kind of get those 20 points, and then they kind of send her down, or send her back up and then back down. So see if we can get a nice big wick lower here. We got a minute to close. Good odds for sure. A little bit more. Can she do it for us? Okay, let's lock in a break even. 20-point break even. I don't want it to hit. I really don't. But I also am not going to watch 40 points go away either. So
Stop filled.
okay, again, back to break even on the day. What a day. Pretty much up 400, or down 400, up 400, down 400, up 400. Just kind of keeps going up and down, up and down. Yeah, I do think tomorrow could be a bounce day. It kind of depends on where we close today, to be honest, though. To be, you know, with the EMAs and stuff like that. So I don't have a good read on tomorrow just yet. I'll have more information as the day kind of closes out here. It really, excuse me, kind of depends on VIX and VX too. Big bounce here. So we are back to testing 490 right now. Still got sellers. VX and VIX did get a little pop to the downside, or a little rejection to the downside here. So this could push back up here. I would not mind waiting for maybe a 5-minute double top on the next 5-minute candle to take this back lower. Or they could finally give us that 520 area I was looking for. 250 is a nice little win there for sure, Holo. I am seeing matching doji rejection candles on ES and NQ along with VX and VIX. So it does set up a potential bottom here. However, next 5-minute candle will be important. We could get, again, the double top and send this right back down off that 490 level. And that would, of course, signify further downside. If I look at the daily right here on NQ, we are touching 20 EMA support. So this is where really if we can break through 25,400 on NQ, there's a big potential this could even get even more bloody today. So we did get a nice little rejection there. I am going to look for a potential another short opportunity here on this new 5-minute candle.
Order filled.
So I went with 2 cons here for a quick rejection. So 10-point stop loss. Okay, closing out there.
Order filled.
Okay, so that is a $700 day on all my accounts besides my funded futures. So I will keep trading the my funded futures. So my funded futures, my scaling wasn't there yet. Okay, so let me change my copier over here to just my funded futures. Okay, we got 5, 5, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And boom, we're back in.
Order filled.
Okay, this is just my funded futures accounts here, so only 5 of my accounts here. Again, they were not over 1,000 in profit on the day, so I was not able to use 2 contracts for my funded futures. But right now, VX is pushing hard. So is VIX. Sellers are coming back in. We got the nice 5-minute double top here. Okay, stopped out. Man, just cannot get the continuation. Right there, unfortunately, got stopped out, and then boom, comes right back down. Okay, back in. VX and VIX are pumping. This is again pretty high A+ play here. We got stronger sellers. Pretty much A+ for me. We'll see if I get stopped out again. $446 is holding as a really nice resistance too. We got 30 seconds to close here. Hopefully we can close a new low on the 5-minute, and hopefully we'll go right to 341 or 382 area. Not sure what just happened there, but I had a stop loss. I moved it up, but I don't know. It was weird. It should have filled me at 15 points there, but it did not. So we're going to hold our stop loss here, though, and hope that this keeps going. I'm not sure why that cut through my trail like that. Should have stopped us out at 15 points there, but hopefully it plays out in our favor here and we'll keep going in a big way down. Okay, break even set. If I could get about $300 to $400 on the day, I'll probably be pretty happy with that. She's not wanting to give us a whole lot, though, I'll tell you that much, especially if she comes back up and tags us out here. Again, you know, sometimes it seems just taking 20 points and calling it a play and getting back in and getting back out could be a better strategy. You know, sometimes like the last play I get like 30, 40 points, but a lot of the times, you know, 20 points is pretty average about where I stop out at. So it's definitely, you know, it's something I think about a lot. You know, sometimes I have a big play like 30, 40 points that kind of washes out 1 or 2 losses where otherwise I would need to keep trading. So it's definitely a balancing act, but there's a lot of times lately where I'm like, man, if I would have just took 20 points right there, that would have been real nice.
Stop fill.
Well, back stopped out of break even. And then it's gonna keep going. Man, story of too many times we see this.
Order filled.
Okay, back in. Still have sellers. Breaking the lows. See if we can get 341. The VX and VIX are making a nice move up about 8% in the day. Oddly, Tesla and NVIDIA are the only ones that are green today. So we did touch 382 there, well, just shy of it, but trying to bounce here again. I still like it. I'm comfortable short. Hopefully this is going to get a nice move down, but you know, it's been the kind of the same thing. Bounce, 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 bounce. So see what happens here. There we go.
Stop filled.
Okay. Well, that was unfortunate. So I am taking about a 5-point loss on that. So right now, 425 is kind of our key level. That's point of control here. If we pop through this on the 5-minute, it might start a bigger recovery, but I do think this is going to get sold back down.
Order submitted. Order filled.
I'll take the risk. All right, trying to stay in this one. See if we can. Good entry. That was a great entry, by the way. Just now, again, we need some continuation. So Holo, based on my stop loss, every play I enter has a 20-point stop loss, no matter what. I try not to touch my stop loss. And the reason is because over the years now that I've been doing this, I have calculated it out. I've ran numerous calculations on what my average loss is and still recover to green. So as in, let's say, how far against me does it go before I'm right? And to a point where it's actually worth holding that long. And on average, 20 points is a good level for me. That generally gives me the drawdown I need in order to still let it move against me a little bit, and get in at a good spot, but not have such a big loss that I can't recover it on the next play. Because again, like I was just saying earlier, 20 to 30 points is usually a good average win for me. So that's kind of what I've been doing for years now, is that 20-point stop loss. I don't like to touch it, and that's kind of just where I stay. Finally, we got a nice move here. I'm going to go ahead and close it out there. So $500 on all my funded futures, $700 on Tradify and Lucid. I will call that a day. Whew. That was a battle. I ain't going to lie, guys. They really made me work for that one. Just very choppy. So, sometimes you got to just, like I was saying, you got to go, you got to keep trusting the play. Sometimes you're going to get stopped out, and that's okay. You just got to trust the play and keep digging. All right, guys, I will probably see you tomorrow. Hopefully I will continue to feel better than I have been. So as long as I feel better and my throat's not killing me too much, then definitely will try to get on tomorrow. So I will see you guys later.